Hello and welcome back to your trusted source for Social Security news, updates, and in-depth analysis. We have a massive Social Security update that could bring real financial relief to millions of Americans receiving Social Security, SSI, and SSDI benefits. Whether you're a retiree, someone living with a disability, or relying on supplemental security income, this news affects you directly. From extra checks being sent out in May to Trump's reversal on 100% clawbacks, and a proposed $500 per month increase in benefits, today's update covers it all. If you or a loved one receives any kind of Social Security benefits, pay close attention because the coming changes could make a huge difference in your monthly finances. But before we dive into this important and potentially life-changing information, please do us a small favor. Hit that like button. It helps our message reach more struggling Americans who depend on these benefits. And don't forget to subscribe for daily updates on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, retirement, and COLA increases. Now, let's get into the details. Let's start with what everyone's been asking. Is there any extra help coming in May? Yes, some Social Security recipients are set to receive 2 checks in May 2025 due to a calendar quirk. Specifically, SSI beneficiaries will receive an early payment for the month of June because June 1st falls on a weekend. This means your regular June payment will be deposited on Friday, May 30th, in addition to your normal May payment. This happens a couple of times a year and can catch people off guard. But rest assured, it's not a bonus check, it's just June's payment arriving early. However, for people living check to check, this early deposit can make a big difference when budgeting for groceries, rent, and other essentials. Now to one of the biggest developments we've seen in recent months. The Trump-backed Social Security Administration has officially retreated from its controversial plan to withhold 100% of monthly benefit payments from recipients flagged for overpayments. Here's what happened. In March 2025, the SSA announced a plan to recover overpaid benefits by seizing the entire monthly payment from affected recipients. This triggered widespread panic, especially among elderly and disabled Americans who are solely dependent on these benefits to survive. After public outrage and political pressure, the administration has changed course. The SSA will now default to a 50% withholding, and not 100%. While this is a step in the right direction, losing half your monthly check is still devastating for many. If you're concerned you might be receiving Social Security overpayments, take proactive action. Call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and ask if you're flagged for any repayment. Request a detailed breakdown. If you're eligible, file for a waiver or appeal to stop or reduce repayments. Millions of Americans are still unaware they're even receiving overpayments, often caused by SSA miscalculations, not recipient fraud. Transparency and fairness are long overdue. Here's where things get even more interesting and promising. Lawmakers are proposing a new bill that would increase monthly benefits by $500 across the board for Social Security retirees, SSI recipients, and those on SSDI. This bold initiative comes amid reports that billions of dollars in federal savings, allegedly due to reforms led by Elon Musk and his administrative policies, could be redirected to boost benefits for low-income seniors and people with disabilities. According to financial analysts and congressional budget experts, this surplus could sustain a $500 monthly raise for millions without hurting the trust fund or raising taxes. If passed, this could be the largest Social Security increase in decades, and a game-changer for people trying to keep up with inflation, rising healthcare costs, and housing prices. During a recent session in Congress, Representative John Larson took to the floor to shed light on the shocking realities faced by seniors and disabled Americans relying on Social Security. Here is the clip you must watch.
This is indeed a sad morning. Very sad morning. When this committee, the oldest and most continuous in the Congress, neglects its responsibility and essentially holds this hearing today to block any further discussion. The men and women on this committee are good people. They're honest and caring people. And that's why I do not understand why you would relegate this committee to no longer being of significance and resort to saying you will do whatever Elon Musk and Donald Trump tell you to do. Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government. And you start off with a blather, and yet we look at the empty seats here. Where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he's found are so evident, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night, but not last night. People are aware of this. Every single one of your districts, all the money that comes in monthly, and you have not done, you as a Congress, have not done anything in more than 54 years. And now you have someone coming in to privatize a system, something you have longed to do going back to 1982, because Elon Musk thinks that this is the best thing to do. President Trump has called Social Security a scam. Elon Musk, as Mr. Neal said, called it a Ponzi scheme. Ask that of the people in your district. Ask that, Mr. Smith, of the more than 198,000 people in your district who rely on Social Security, and you won't even let the person who's planning to privatize it, who's telling the big lie in front of everyone, in bold as he possibly can, saying, this is what we're going to do. The Congress is in our back pocket. We don't even have to come before them and testify because we control the House, we control the Senate, and we control the presidency. And it's the tyranny of the executive. It's why these resolutions were first adopted back in 1789, because the founding fathers knew that the executive branch does not have total authority over the legislature unless you have a willing party that says, no, we're going to do exactly what you tell us to do, Mr. Musk and Mr. President. It doesn't matter to our constituents. It doesn't matter how much money they are not going to receive. We're not even going to tell them the truth about what's going to happen to them. And every single one of these districts where they're being shut down and their personnel, and as Mr. Neal said, Dan, after you cut and eliminate the people, say the agency isn't responding accordingly. No other agency operates for under less than 1%. With that, they administer to over 70 million people in the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and children. Shame! Shame! Can't bring people in front of this body? If he's right, if they're so good, if they're so just, why aren't they here telling the American people about it? They're not, because you know the truth.
Many Americans are still unclear on where former President Donald J. Trump stands on Social Security. On the campaign trail, he promised to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits, a move that would significantly help working seniors. However, critics point out that his prior administration proposed budget cuts that could have impacted Social Security by up to 20%, according to statements made by congressional leaders. So far, Trump hasn't officially committed to a specific policy on benefit expansion, taxation changes, or trust fund protection for his 2025 campaign. We'll continue to monitor every development. Here's what you should do right now if you receive Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. Check your payment schedule. If you're an SSI recipient, you'll receive 2 checks in May 2025. Call SSA. Ask if you're affected by any clawback or overpayment situation. Support legislation. Email your senator or representative and ask them to support the $500 increase. Stay updated. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. We're living in uncertain times, and for many Americans, that monthly Social Security check is the only reliable source of income. With inflation pushing costs higher every month, it's critical that lawmakers act to protect and enhance Social Security, not cut it. If you found this information helpful, please share this video with friends, family, and anyone who relies on SSI, SSDI, or retirement benefits. Together, let's keep pushing for real financial justice for seniors, veterans, and Americans with disabilities. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next update.